everyone, welcome to another episode. Today we're going to be talking about jobs. Why are we going to talk about jobs? Because I just had my first day at my new job yesterday and I learned a whole bunch just from that first day experience that, really made me think that this topic would be a real good one to touch on for y'all. What am I touching on specifically? Finding the right job, not the next job. Something that I touched on in my resume video, but I would like to expand on for everybody, just so you know what I really meant by that. Let's go.
Thank you. I'll say.
So if you're fresh out of school, either high school, college, trade school, GED, apprenticeships, I don't know what else they do these days. I know there's online stuff, but I still count that as college. Basically, after you have completed your education, you are ready to enter the workforce, you are going to look for a job because, let's face it, you do need to make money and get paid unless you're a trust fund babe, in which case you can skip this video if you don't need it. But yeah, you're going to look for a job. You're going to need to pay some bills, and there's going to be two ways you can approach this. Now, your first job is inevitably not going to be anything to write home about. My first job was actually pretty cool, but it was totally a good luck fluke. I got to work at a toy company. That just doesn't happen anymore. But if you're looking for your first job, just be aware that your first job might be, but it's a job and it pays and good, great. But what should you start looking for as you continue down your job path? So one thing to think about is your career. Now, if you did go to a four-year university or college or studied something passionately that had a central focus, like say math, communications, art, music, dance, you're going to want to find something that reignites that passion in some way. Does that mean you have to find something that's exactly what you studied? No. For example, I studied English initially and then found out very quickly that it was not the right major for me. I did not get along with kids, so teaching English was out, and I was not good at writing stories and poetry, so that was also out. So what I ended up switching to was communications because I found that I actually really liked social communication, marketing, PR, and communicating with the public in a way that helps companies get their message out and really help people understand what they're about, and also connects people to stuff that they want on the internet. That's what I do. I sell you things on the internet. Little did you know. But that's where my path eventually got me. And it all started with interning at companies that did that and, moving up the ladder. Now, what you're going to want to do as you start to build your career is start to look for jobs that speak to that passion. If you are a dancer and, you love to dance, but you don't really know what to do for a job, look into nonprofits, look into things that give back to the community, look for things in the arts, look for museums, look for after-school programs, like anything that reignites that passion, go for that. If it doesn't pay super well, you can always get like a secondary job just to help the bills out, but try to pursue something that you are really passionate about, because when you come home at the end of the day, you're going to be exhausted either way, but you want to be happy exhausted, not I hate my life exhausted. Now, art majors, I know that you guys have a rough time with this because art is really hard to sell and all of that fun stuff, but if you do like digital illustration and you do like design and Photoshop and Illustrator, consider, if you will, working in the graphics department or the logo or design department of another company. You never know, it could be what you want, and maybe something they do speaks to what you're really passionate about. You just have to find the next job that really works for you. It's got to be the right job, not necessarily the next job. Basically, look for what gives you passion. Now, I know what you're saying, and you're probably saying, but Cupcake, what if I just want a job that pays me a lot of money so I can move out of my parents' house and just have a lot of money? That's fine, and I totally get that train of thought, but there is one cautionary tale on that, and I'm also guilty of it. Make sure what you're doing for lots and lots of money is something that you can see yourself doing for a while, enjoy doing, motivate yourself to do every day, and gives you some kind of gratification, even if it's just being proud of your job. Like, even just that is good enough. The problem that happens with just going for the job that pays a lot is you might find that that job is really soul-crushing and hard to do. I mean, if it's not the right fit for you, it's not going to be the right fit for them either. While the job interview might go great and you might get like 3 months in and you're making a buttload of money, if you're miserable, no matter how much you try to hide it, someone's going to notice. I mean, that's what happened to me. I was working a job and making a fuckload of money, but I hated it. Like, I was miserable at that job. I felt like I was living someone else's life. Really did. So what I ended up doing is I went freelance, tried to have a eat, pray, love moment because I'd pretty much fallen apart, and sought out a job that spoke to what I was passionate about, still paid fairly decently, and, you know, really involved all the things that I used to love about studying my major. Like what I said earlier, what made me really passionate about my major was helping brands get their message out, helping customers find exactly what they want, and now that's what I do, but I do it in a less toxic environment that does actually pay better and have better health benefits and, you know, are nicer, and my boss is more reasonable, and the location is actually kind of better, and people I work with aren't psychopaths, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean. Basically, it might be tempting to take the really big paycheck, but if there's another job that is much better for you and it pays a bit less, you know what? Call me crazy, but take it. Take it if you think you can fall in love with that job and come home exhausted but satisfied every day. You don't want to be exhausted and miserable. You at least want to have some pride in what you're doing and some pride in that job. And if all you're doing is complaining about it, it's probably not at the right job. So how do you get to the right job? So it starts small. What you want to essentially envision is almost like a line, and you want to find the little points in between that line it up and help you get to that final destination of dream job. But it's not immediate. You're not going to get that right out the gate unless you're just supremely lucky. But you really want to find that path, basically follow the yellow brick road of employment and find all the happy little characters like the Cowardly Lion and the Tin Man along the way to help you get to the Wizard of Oz dream job of your dreams, except hopefully not Wizard of Oz. Hopefully it's actually impressive and not just a dude behind the curtain. You know what I mean? But, you know, lining up each of those opportunities one by one really sets you up on a good path. If you can at least write down on a piece of paper, like, you know what, in 1 year I want to be doing this, in 2 years I want to be doing this, in 3 years I want to be doing this, it makes it much more attainable because you can see how you're progressing and tracking, and it makes it so much easier to follow through. And then when you do hit that dream job, oh, hallelujah, it is amazing and it feels great. So as best you can, try to plot that line of getting to your dream job, and I promise you it will be so satisfying when you get there. Seriously, seriously, seriously. Try your best to find that happy place where you will eventually, you know, discover happiness and that dream job and fulfillment and doing what you love every day and almost not even having a job because, you know, if you love it and you wake up excited to go do it, is it really a job? No, it's a career. You've hit career status. You win the game. Ah! But for real though, that is honestly why I put so much emphasis on right job, not next job, good job, not high paying job necessarily, because I want you to be happy. I want you to love what you do. I want you to walk into your new job so stinking excited to be there every day and so motivated to put yourself into that role 100% and love every minute of it and come home sweaty and exhausted but so happy. And that is how you do it. It's not easy, and there are going to be some bumps, and your first 2 jobs might be a little bit harder than you expected them to be, but if you just keep at it and keep your eyes on the prize, you should be able to build yourself a pretty strong career. You can use what I said in my resumes and interview video to really help you along the way, and always feel free to reach out if you need more help with that. But please go out there, pursue your dreams, find that job that makes you happier than a pig in mud, and have a lovely, lovely week, you guys.